My name is Steven, and in this video I'll be teaching you about controllers. This is the second video in my series called Introduction to CodeIgniter. Yeah, let's jump right in. What I did in the first video was I downloaded and installed CodeIgniter to, not here, to here, to the www folder in my WAMP installation on my local machine. I named it CI_intro, and then I launched it, and you can see here that my CodeIgniter app has been, or CodeIgniter has been successfully installed on my machine. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up that folder in my text editor. Go into C drive, scroll down to WAMP, www, CI_intro, and here we go. We have some new folders in the application folder that you've probably never seen before. Some key ones are config. We'll be working a lot in config. Controllers, models, and views. But because this video is about controllers, we will work with this controller. Let's open up welcome.php. And this is a controller. The first thing you'll notice is we have opening up PHP tags. And then we are creating a new class and extending CI_controller. This is really important because controllers in CodeIgniter are essentially just a class, and the classes that we make will just be extending them. In this case, this controller is named welcome, and it has in it is an index function, a public function index, and within that it's loading a view called welcome message. This right here, this if not defined base path exit no direct script access allowed, is just a security measure done by CodeIgniter. Comes with the package, and I recommend that we include this on the top of all of our controllers. So let's actually go ahead and create a new controller, and I'll show you a bit about how these things work. We're going to call this controller site.php, and then we're actually going to, as you'll notice, this welcome controller is being auto-loaded, or it is the default controller for this CodeIgniter application. So even though you don't see welcome or anything like that, that controller is what's being loaded. It's loading that welcome_CodeIgniter view, which we can see right here. What we want to do is change that. We want to auto-load or change the default controller to something else, to site.php, which we just created. So what we'll do is we'll go into config, scroll down to routes, open that up, and you can see here route default controller is equal to welcome. We want to change that to site. Notice the not capitalization here. Also, for later on in the series, you might be interested in where we can do a 404 override. If you have your own 404 page that you want to load, you can actually load a controller here for that. But that's a side note. Okay, so let's open up site.php, this folder, this new controller that we've made. We're going to copy over just this information because it sucks writing it, and then rename this to site. Notice the capitalization here. That's just standard class naming, and it carries over in CodeIgniter as well. Then the second thing we're going to do is make a new function, an index actually. New function index, parentheses, curly braces. Okay. How controllers work is there'll be a function. There should always be a function index, and what the index function is it'll be the first function that's run when the controller is called. In this case, we just want to put something here that's going to let us know that this controller has actually been called successfully. So we'll say hi internet, semicolon, and we also need to save routes.php. And now, because we've changed the default controller, if we reload our CodeIgniter application, you'll notice that it is now calling the site controller, and that public function index, the index function, is being called now. Okay, we can exit out of this. And why don't we make a couple other functions? There are other kinds of functions inside of a controller There can be tons of different, actually, you're going to write a lot of different kinds of functions inside of one controller. What we'll do is we'll make one called hello. And then this one, we're going to echo out something else. Now you'll notice that this function is not called by default. If we reload this, nothing happens because the default controller is only loading, because the site controller is only loading index. If we want to load the hello function, what we'll need to do is we can actually dictate in the URL to load that. I'll show you how to do that. Index.php / the controller, which is site, and the function, which is called hello. And there we have it. Something else is being loaded now. You'll notice this index.php in the URL. It's actually kind of annoying. Like, you'll notice CI_intro, that's our folder name. We have this index.php. Why is that in there? Because we have CI intro, the project name, the class, or the controller, and the function. Wouldn't it be nice if this was gone? That is foreshadowing for an upcoming tutorial, which I will be teaching. I believe that's like the 4th tutorial. So look that up if you're interested in getting rid of index.php. Continuing on, you can, if you don't want to dictate in the URL every time, for example in page linking, you can actually load other controllers from within other controllers. In this case, we're going to put a space here to make it look better, and then we're going to load the hello controller from within the index, or the hello function from within the index function. And the way we do this is we go this load, this hello, because the controller's already been loaded. Include the parentheses there, and save it. Now if we reload this, reload the CodeIgniter app from scratch, hi internet, something else. You'll see that both functions in this controller are being loaded, and that is a success. Yeah, I think that is it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial we'll be talking about models, so stay tuned for that.